we're joined live by Aviation Accident Investigator Steve Green. Steve, thank you very much for taking time to speak with us. We are just approaching the 24-hour mark when this accident happened. Walk us through what to expect, behind the scenes as well as publicly.
Well, I think they made it very clear in the press conference. It's an active investigation, so they're not going to tell you a whole lot because they want to make sure they are certain of facts before they say anything. And there's a lot of work to do to get through that. So they're going to be documenting the wreckage on the runway very extensively, and they're going to be certainly looking for the recorders. And I think it's extremely important to contrast what you saw in the video with what we'll find out from the digital flight data recorder. That records 400 or 500 parameters and will give us a much more accurate picture of what was going on. The video really can be a bit misleading, so we have to be a little careful of that.
Steve, I was going to ask you about that. How is this video going to be used in the investigation, especially when it comes to the information from the black box?
I don't know how much weight they'll give to the video. The recorders provide so much information, and we're so skilled at interpreting that we'll kind of build a picture from that. And I'm not sure that the video itself has a lot of investigative value at this point, although I'm sure they're going to be taking a look at it and seeing if they can see anything else that might be of interest in it.
Okay, along with that, Steve, this wreckage, it's going to be on the runway for at least 48 hours. Can you talk about that?
Well, it takes time to document, and you don't want to move anything because you want to make sure you've got exactly what the condition of the wreckage is in place. So we want to take the necessary time to go through and document it. They'll do that as quickly as they can because they are well aware that it's closing runways and so forth. And then they'll move the wreckage to a secure site somewhere, inside, warm, where they can spend a lot of time continuing the documentation. But they want to get the initial stuff done while it's in situ because there may be relevant information that you'll lose as soon as you move the aircraft.
And Steve, looking at this, the crash, the landing, and seeing the fuselage still, upside down, what are your initial thoughts on this?
I think one of the things that is sort of hidden behind all of this is that there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into design and certification of cabin structures, seat structures, things like seat belts and so forth, specifically to ensure survival in cases like this. And what I'm looking at right now says all of that worked. That paid off significantly. And the people who do that work are often unknown to the public, but it's extremely deep and sophisticated. You can look at a number of the regulations that go into certifying the airplane, and it gives you a pretty good idea of what they're concerned with. This worked out really well.
And also, Steve, the expertise and training of the pilot, there's been speculation online when looking at the video that, okay, this was a Navy-trained pilot.
Well, again, looking at the video, I can't really be sure of anything. And I'm really hesitant to say anything about what exactly happened. I mean, the video gives us a dramatic picture, but again, we don't know anything about the actual parameters, what the airplane was experiencing, what was going on. And all of that will come out in due time, but we've got to be patient because it takes time to download, interpret, et cetera, et cetera. And Transportation Safety Board will put that information out as appropriate.
And Steve, as we wrap up, in terms of the public, the flying public, those going in and out of Pearson with flights, what can they expect to see over the next couple of days? I mean, we know this fuselage is going to be there for at least another 48 hours. 2 runways are going to be out of commission as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. And, the airport's prepared to handle it. The airlines will handle it. There'll be some changes in flight schedules, I'm sure. They'll do the best they can with what they have. And as I said, the investigators are aware of this, and they're going to move as quickly as they can to make sure they can get things cleared up.
Okay. Aviation Accident Investigator Steve Green, thank you very much for your time and insight this afternoon.
You bet. Thank you.